Hey, hello everybody, welcome back. Hope you guys are doing well. Thank you so much for clicking on this video once again. I hope you guys are all safe out there because we're going through crazy times right now. So I wish you all well and be safe out there, right? So now get into the video. So today's video I have a build that I'm enjoying right now, right? Because so this build is not for everybody, but it was a build that it's a high risk, high reward, where once you played right, you'll get rewarded with a lot of damage against your enemies. Now the M1A is still one of the best weapons in the game, so it's the best rifle in the game. But if you want to stay away of it a little bit and just play something different, just like I've been trying to, so I tried this build, I tried this rifle because I got a god roll. I had to try it out, right? So I had to make a build for it, and I just love the way it is right now with the changes and with the addition of another change to a exotic. So there is 2 exotics in this build that we're gonna be talking about in this video, right? So going to the build, so guys, this is gonna be the build. The build is gonna be a rifle built around the Diamondback exotic rifle. This thing hits so hard. I have a god roll Diamondback. You guys saw on my last video about god roll exotics. I rolled it once and I got this perfect Diamondback rifle, right? Now, before we get too much into the build, the first thing you gotta know, when it comes to the specialization, I went with the specialization sharpshooter. The reason why I went with specialization sharpshooter is mostly because of this right here. One is because of the 15% increased weapon stability, reduced recoil and faster reacquisition of targets. The stability is very important and very helpful on rifles. I love them. And then also it has this one right here, one in the head, which is 15% increased headshot damage to rifles and marksman rifles, basically, right? Honestly, that's the biggest reason that I'm choosing the sharpshooter in here, right? Now going back to the build, right? So yes, we have the Diamondback as the main gun of the show. 15% rifle damage, 17% critical hit damage, and 10% headshot damage with the talent agonizing bite. Diamondback randomly marks an enemy, right? And then hitting that enemy consumes the mark, guaranteeing a critical hit damage amplified by with 20%. So basically every time you hit a marked enemy, you're gonna crit and it's gonna be doing a lot of damage with 20% amplified damage, which is multiplicative. A new random enemy is marked afterwards and whenever you reload. So after hitting a mark, all shots fired are guaranteed critical hits for 5 seconds. So those crits after you hit that enemy that's marked, right, they're gonna be up for 5 seconds. So for 5 seconds you have all crit damage guarantee 100%. So that's where this gun will shine. And for that reason, on this build, we're gonna try to go as much critical hit damage as we can and headshot damage, right? Critical hit chance is not necessary, but doesn't mean you do not have to put them on the build, right? So just prioritize critical hit damage as much as you can and some more headshot damage. Now, for the brand sets, we have a 3-piece of Providence defense. This is very important because this is basically a lot of damage for this build. So by having 3 Providence defense, we get 10% headshot damage, 10% critical hit chance, and 15% critical hit damage. Very important on this build. We have the mask with weapon damage, critical hit chance in here, which I can roll for headshot damage. The reason why I'm not rolling it right now is because this is the only mask, the good mask that I have for Providence defense, at least for my builds. So I'm using it on 2 different builds. So I do not want to roll it as of right now, but still it works for me. So if I wanted to hit more headshot damage, I can change it, but I'm just not doing it right now because I need it on in another builds too. right? So that's why. Now the mods, just go with critical hit damage in every single mod. The backpack is going to be not a Providence defense, same way, weapon damage, critical hit chance, and critical hit damage. Like I said, trying to go with headshot damage if you can. And then talent, the first talent is going to be vigilance. Increase weapon damage by 25%, right? And then taking damage will disable that buff for 4 seconds. Now I like vigilance because straight up from the beginning you will start with 25% damage and you will lose that damage for 4 seconds, but with this type of build you do want to stay on cover, so anyways you're gonna be able to get that damage back after you stay on cover to reload the gun or something like that, so you get that damage fast. And then last but not least, for the third item of the Providence defense, we have the chest piece, and this one is going to be a named item, which is the sacrifice, which comes with the talent the perfect glass cannon. So the perfect glass cannon will give us a 30% amplified damage to the build, but we'll get a 60% amplified damage, incoming damage from the NPC. So it's a high risk, high reward for this build, right? On the core attributes, weapon damage, attributes, critical hit damage, headshot damage. We were lucky to have it on this chest piece, and then critical hit damage. So this is basically the best scenario when it comes to damage. That's what I'm saying. Like, you want to go with weapon damage, critical hit damage, headshot damage, and critical hit damage. You don't need critical hit chance, but doesn't mean if you have it in the build it's gonna affect the build in a bad way, right? So it's nothing bad. Now on the gloves we do have a Grupo Sombra. I would recommend at least have one of them, because by having one from the brand set you get 15% critical hit damage by equipping one Grupo Sombra. The core attribute is going to be weapon damage, attribute is going to be critical hit damage, and once again we have a 6% critical hit chance because I'm using this glove in another build, but you could go with headshot damage in there to be the best scenario for more damage. It still works fine for me, so I'm just gonna keep it the way it is as of right now. Now last but not least, we need to have one of these, right? The Warlords ornament. Why? Because by having one of them in your build you get 10% rifle damage, which we need the build for the rifle build, right? So the core attribute is going to be weapon damage, attribute critical hit damage, and critical hit chance. You could go with headshot damage also, right? And then last but not least we have these knee pads. So this is the Sawyer knee pads. I like the way they changed it, and it's a lot better now. They are good and bad. Good because they give you a lot of damage, and bad because you have to be, you know, not moving at all. Like at all you'll lose that damage, right? So, and I like to move a lot. So for the talents is it has stand your ground, so cannot be staggered by explosions, which is very good. And then increase total weapon damage by 3% each second you are not moving at all, right? So stacks up to 10 and are lost when you move. So those stacks you will lose them if you move. So you get up to 30% weapon damage, which is insane, right? So that's what makes this build hits hard. Now taking a look at the stats, right? If you go on the weapon, this is going to be the Diamondback. We have a base weapon damage of 635,000, which is the max right now for this build. And then we have a 32.7% critical hit chance and 183% critical hit damage. That number right there could be a lot higher. It could be close to 200. If you can get it close to 200, this build is going to be insane, and you guys can optimize it the way you guys want for critical hit damage, right? And then headshot damage we have 103, which is not bad. You could go more and do more damage, but remember, with headshot damage you have to hit your headshots. So if you're not gonna hit your headshots is gonna be wasted, right? So remember to try to go for headshots if you put a lot of headshots on the build. Now for the skills on this build, I am using the booster hive and also the fixer drone for this build, and I want to show you guys something in the fire range. Now the reason why we want to use the booster hive is because maybe some of you guys don't know the booster hive. It's working different from what it used to be. Before, people used to use it as a boost to your movement. You would move faster, but now it's actually giving you weapon damage. So let me show you guys how it works, right? So we have the enemy right there. If we hit it right now, we're hitting headshots for 2,601,000, right? But if I put the booster hive down, If I hit it again, once I get that booster hive, we get 2,737,000. So you see how much damage we do with the booster hive. If I pick it up again, right, that's the damage we're doing. Hold on, it's go away. So that's the damage without the booster hive. 4,945,000, right, for crits, and then 2,601,000, you know, for just normal number. If I put the booster hive down, we're gonna be hitting for, hold on, we're gonna be hitting for 5,204,000 crit, and I want to just get a normal shot. Come on, give me a normal shot right there. 2,737,000. So that's why we use the booster hive, basically to give us more damage. And then the fixed drone is just to, you know, kind of heal us ourselves. That way we don't waste our med kits, because this build, when you take damage, you will take a lot of damage, right? You're using the glass cannon. And that's it, guys. Basically, that's a whole build. Let me know what you guys think of the build. If you guys enjoyed the video, hit me with that like. I would appreciate. Leave your comments, suggestions, whatever you want to say in the comment section below. I'd appreciate. I read them a lot, and I respond when I can, right? So yeah, thank you guys for all the support. Thank you for all the members on the channel. You guys are awesome. Thank you for the extra support you guys give on the channel. Yeah, and yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.